Another is the largest earthquake drill in Northwest history.
Breaking news overseas, a deadly terror attack. At least 4 people killed when 2 gunmen opened fire at a crowded shopping mall in Tel Aviv, Israel.
The unveiling of the world's longest rail tunnel is a big moment in Europe.
You're watching the opening ceremony of the world's longest and deepest rail tunnel under the Swiss Alps. It's officially been opened. This spectacle, very much...
An impressive ceremony with a guest list that read like a meeting of the United Nations.
Celebrate science, perhaps it's best to not get carried away. The inauguration ceremony included some, how should we put it, original choreography.
It was quite bizarre.
All right. We're going to leave.
Where was that? That was in the tunnel?
I guess it was
from this weekend's Sunset Music Festival at Raymond James Stadium could rise, with several people still fighting for their lives at area hospitals.
The 2-day Sunset Music Festival at Raymond James Stadium drawing a crowd of 30,000 over the weekend. At its end, 2 people would be dead of suspected drug overdoses. Tampa Fire Rescue says they took 57 people to the hospital.
Right now.
President Obama says the Bible supports his sweeping directive to allow transgender public school students to use the bathroom of their choice. The president made that remark at a town hall meeting in Elkhart, Indiana, Wednesday night. On the PBS NewsHour, Mr. Obama said people with religious beliefs may disagree with his decision, but he believes he's following Jesus' command to treat others the way he'd want to be treated.
My reading of Scripture tells me that that golden rule is pretty high up there in terms of my Christian belief.
The president said he wants to ensure that all children are treated.
Well, a school sparking outrage for calling the sheriff's office on a 7-year-old for handing out, get this, Bible verses to classmates. A teacher at the elementary school in Southern California banning the Bible notes like these during lunch, saying there should be a separation of church and state. A sheriff's deputy even showed up at the boy's house and told him and his mom to stop because someone might get offended.
What began as a postcard moment at the Air Force Academy graduation ended with one of the F-16 fighters.
We are following a developing story in Colorado where a Thunderbird jet crashed immediately after a flyover at a graduation ceremony where President Obama spoke.
In an extraordinary coincidence, America's elite military acrobatic flying teams each suffered a crash today. A Navy Blue Angels F-18 fell near Nashville where the team was practicing for a show. The pilot was killed. Earlier today, an Air Force Thunderbird F-16 crashed after a flyby at the Air Force Academy graduation where the president was speaking.
Foreign ministers from around the world convene in Paris to try and lay the groundwork for Israeli-Palestinian peace talks. But the two main players aren't even invited.
France is hosting a conference in an attempt to revive the Israel-Palestinian peace process.
It's considered one of the world's longest-running conflicts.
This initiative has only one purpose: peace in the Middle East.
Hollande made the comments during the Israeli-Palestinian peace meeting in the capital Paris. France is hosting the peace talks. This is an initial meeting between foreign ministers from a range of countries, including the United States.
This is officially a natural disaster. France's President, François Hollande, describing it as a catastrophe naturelle.
Tonight, parts of Paris and its suburbs are underwater. The Seine River is nearing its highest level in 3 decades. The Louvre Museum is closed.
And we're now seeing that this is breaking records since the late 19th century.
It scared me terribly. I was really panicked. I've never seen this in my life, and it's shocking.
Shops, of course, also facing damage to their merchandise, their stock. Farmers are seeing their crops drown.
A very interesting evening. We're going to be diving into the brave new world of CRISPR. And as you see, as you saw in that film, CRISPR gives scientists the awesome power to tinker with the software of life.
For thousands of years, humans have bred horses in much the same gradual way nature does. But soon, they could actually be designed in the lab, along with other livestock, plants, and even humans. Because a new technology has made editing the genome almost as easy as using a word processor. This game-changing technology is one of the most powerful in the entire history of science, perhaps comparable to the splitting of the atom. The CRISPR revolution is already happening in research labs worldwide. For better or for worse, every life on Earth will soon be affected by our ability to reprogram the software of life.
But about 10 to 12%, of these reproductive age people said that if there were a test that would be predictive of superior intelligence or superior athletic ability in their children, well, they would want to have it. And as we've seen, for instance, with consumer genetics, that people won't be denied in terms of the types of information that they'd like to be able
a shorter
to
timeline for
achieve.
testing those things, but how do you regulate that? I mean, I don't think there's an answer.
You can regulate against it, but you might not be able to prevent it.
A heart-wrenching moment on the Hill today. MP Muriel Boulanger, his health in steep decline, appeared in the House to save his private member's bill. The bill will change the national anthem.
And the lyrics to our national anthem will be a hot topic before the celebrations. Gender-neutral lyrics for O Canada are up for debate.
Colleagues say Boulanger's desire to see the lyrics of O Canada changed from In All Thy Sons Command to In All of Us Command has consumed much of his energy and focus these past months, even as his condition continued to deteriorate.
I've been here for 16 years and nothing like this has been so extreme.
It's insane. It's just mind-blowing. Like, watching the waves come up yesterday was just out of control.
It's as big as I've seen it for 20 years, mate.
At Cronulla last night, the waterfront restaurant was swallowed up by the massive swell.
And then got a show. Sea Level restaurant living up to its name as giant waves washed through the glass windows.
We've been here for 19 years and we've had some higher seas before, but it's never actually come up through the windows.
Staff scrambled to move to higher ground. Mopping up the mess proved pointless as the tide continued to rise. South Cronulla wasn't spared. Zimzala Cafe engulfed.
The wind, the tide, the waves all joined forces to slice away at the cliff edge, changing this part of the coastline forever.
It's a picture best painted by Google Earth before the weekend storm and after, the northern beaches in their very own disappearing act.
Today. This is a once-in-a-lifetime weather event here in Launceston. I can't explain to you enough just how loud this is here. You might be able to hear it, but the roar is deafening. Okay, it's like thunder non-stop.
Images to show you tonight of a rare and violent encounter in nature.
An amateur photographer from British Columbia captured a real-life Angry Birds battle between two iconic symbols representing Canada and the United States. Have a look at these pretty interesting photos. The showdown starts with a bald eagle swooping down and landing on top of a Canada goose.
Friday morning, a truly rare encounter. Camping on Spider Lake, Lisa Bell captures a bald eagle challenging a Canada goose.
That was a once in a lifetime.
I can honestly say in 30 years I've never seen an eagle, a bald eagle, take a Canada goose.
Swooping down, the eagle seems to dominate the goose and pins it to the earth with dare-like talents.
We set up two distinct categories, man and woman, that everyone must choose between. But that doesn't actually reflect the full diversity of the human experience. Within the categories of man and woman, there is incredible diversity of gender expression. And some people, like me, don't really feel good in either category. Instead of choosing, we want to live in a world where gender and sexuality can be more fluid, more playful, and can exist outside of such explicit sorting between one category or the other.
The testimony continued. The youngest to speak was Victoria Johnson, who was accompanied by her mother, Davina.
I was a proud mother of a son and a daughter. And within the last year, I became a proud mother of a daughter and a daughter.
Then on the other hand, you had parents who talked about concerns over their children being forced to accept these changes as the new norm.
13 seconds after the gun sounds, the fastest 3A girls in the state cross the finish line of the 100-meter run. Haynes' Natafon Wengat is among them, but Wengat's story is different than any other runner at the state championships. She was born a male.
It is not fair and it is not right for our female athletes, and we have a responsibility to protect our girls that have worked really hard, that are working.
You know, and if a person feels that they are born in the wrong body, who are we to tell them that they are not? What we need to do as loving and caring and supportive citizens of this whole world is to provide an opportunity and a solution, and that starts at a really young age. And we have that opportunity and solution. That comes with our line. That comes with our clothing.
Well, this video is sparking outrage in the northwest suburbs. A business owner in diapers promoting a new adult baby store in Mount Prospect.
You know, they're not having sex with their diapers on. They're having people feed them and act like a baby.
It's a business that many people find at best is tasteful, but that is legal.
Displaying a 5.5-foot rocking horse, a 7-foot crib, an oversized high chair, and an adult-sized playpen.
Things for people to come and play, take pictures.
It's hard for us to swallow in this community.
The village attorney says it has no legal basis to deny it.
I have no words for that story. All right, that was...
There was a startling wake-up call across Southern California.
People still talking about it now. A magnitude 5.2 earthquake hit just after 1 this morning, about 13 miles northwest of Borrego Springs.
To me, it was strong. I felt like as if everything was just moving, and I was really freaked out. I've never felt one that intense, I guess.
There was also that 6.1 quake that rocked Nicaragua yesterday. Seismologists insist these events are unrelated.
A mystery tonight in a Blue Springs community. Neighbors there trying to figure out what's causing loud explosions throughout the day. 41 Action News reporter Brian Abel in Blue Springs today as those mysterious blasts continue. It's a story you'll see only right here on 41.
Sometimes it shakes the house.
Mysterious explosions.
After we aired this story Wednesday about loud, sometimes violent explosion-like sounds near Highway 7, we received more calls, tweets, and emails from viewers like Patty Solsberg.
And then I saw your story at 6 o'clock and was thinking the same thing as the people that you interviewed.
She says she hears the same house-rattling explosions.
LA singer Christina Grimmie has died after being shot in Florida last night. She had just finished a show in Orlando.
And now to the United States, where many cities across the nation have seen a rise in violent crimes this year.
Out of Florida continues now. It is now officially the worst mass shooting in American history.
A man with an assault rifle stormed an Orlando nightclub. Police say at least 50 people are dead.
Look at that, they're shooting back and forth. Oh my God, they're all shooting back and forth.
People, shocked that something like this has happened here in the United States.
But they are saying that Mateen, they're calling him an Islamic State fighter now. They're faming him as one of their own.
Today marks the most deadly shooting in American history. The shooter was apparently armed with a handgun and a powerful assault rifle. This massacre is therefore a further reminder of how easy it is for someone to get their hands on a weapon that lets them shoot people in a school, or in a house of worship, or a movie theater, or in a nightclub. And we have to decide if that's the kind of country we want to be. And to actively do nothing is a decision as well.